stay up here real fast. Let's do a selfie thing. Let's get the energy up in the room. Everybody stand up. And then we're all gonna scream like we just got a $10 million listing, all right? While we do the selfie video. You guys ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3, go! All right. Thank you guys for having me. It's awesome to be here. I'm gonna talk about not playing by the rules that exist. And Leo's a smart guy and he talked about like super smart stuff, and I'm just gonna talk about real simple things you can do in your business every day to scale and just sell more houses. So I never got the clicker. Where'd the clicker go? And as T said, I'm from the big island of Hawaii in Kona. I have the honor of leading the agency team Hawaii. We are the #1 team in the state of Hawaii for units sold and volume, and yeah, it's pretty cool. Like, I'm from a state with like 1.2 million people, and as of this morning, because I check every single day, we're number 6 in the country for volume and number 3 in the country for units sold. Yeah, it's amazing. We're over 300. I think we're at 306 units right now, year to date, and on track to do 1,000 this year. It's absolutely mind blowing, and a lot of that is due to because we just didn't follow the rules that don't exist. And I think we're raised in the real estate business to follow a bunch of crazy things, and we're told things, and we have all these limited beliefs. And some of them are like really tactical in our business that hold us back. So I'm just gonna run through these, give you guys some stuff to consider. If this goes against your conventional wisdom, cool, but just consider that maybe there's a different way of doing things and a different way of looking at things. And it all starts with EXP, right? EXP broke a bunch of rules that didn't exist. Everybody said it wouldn't work, right? A cloud-based brokerage wouldn't work. You can't collaborate with people because this is a competitive business, it's a scarce business, you're not supposed to be sharing what you do. People said the stock would never be worth anything, and nobody would care. I mean, how many people have like life-changing amounts of stock? I mean, I do. It's crazy, and it's going to continue to grow over time. And rev share is a pyramid scheme. I mean, all this kind of stuff. You all heard this before you joined, right? And how'd that work out? Everybody in the last 5 or 6 years, every single new real estate company is copying us, right? Because this is the future, and the rules that existed for 100 years in real estate have been broken, and we're going to continue to grow. So let's start with you need a fancy office. Y'all, agents tell me this all the time. What about an office? Has an office ever provided you with real business? That's a question you got to ask yourself. It never really has. I had an agent tell me that they get to sit at a fancy desk in a shopping mall and get walk-in leads, and I'm like, that stopped being a thing in like 1995. Like, you got to stop being sold that as a value proposition. And the truth is, offices a lot of times are just a drain on resources that stop us from being able to invest in leads, invest in assistants, invest in marketing, the things that we got to do to actually grow our business, and it holds us back. And for us personally, I do have a couple of offices on the island. They're very cheap. They're not fancy at all, but we've expanded across the state, across 4 islands. We didn't open any offices. We didn't buy any furniture. We didn't hire any staff. And so your ability to scale and grow is really held back by this idea of needing a fancy office. So if you think that, you need to change your mindset. And if your agents that you're talking to attract are held back by this, let me talk to them and I'll convince them otherwise, all right? And this is kind of like random. I'm going all over the place. So just like, this is like no theme. I'm just going to everything I could think of that's a rule that doesn't exist. So business plan based on volume. Who gets taught, right, when you do business planning? Like, I want to sell 10 million this year, and I got to figure out my average price point, and I got to back engineer how many deals I got to do to all that stuff, right? And I always felt like units build a sustainable business. Like, I just want to do as many units as possible and build my business, my plan for how do I do 30 units a year, 40 units a year, 1,000 units a year. And think about that when you do your business planning, because if you do enough units, the volume will follow, right? And a lot of times if we hit our volume goals, we're not doing it the amount of units that we should be doing to build a long-term sustainable business. And just think about it this way, right? Would you rather do 30 deals at 330K or 2 deals at 5 million? Yeah. Which one? 32. I would rather do 30 because that's 30 new friends, that's 30 new clients, it's 30 repeat deals in the future, that's 30 people that can refer me folks, right? And the volume's the same, right? That's 10 million bucks in volume, basically. So think about that when you do business planning, is what are you basing your plan off of? All right, focus on experienced agents. This is something that I was told growing up as a young agent, that if you want to be a broker and you want to start an organization, you got to recruit experienced agents. And I learned through previous experiences in life that valuing potential over experience is way more beneficial in the long run, and that's really how we've built our business. On our team, we just started. Like, I didn't bring a brokerage or a team over to EXP. I came with my brother and a couple of agents 6 years ago, and we went from basically zero to doing 895 deals last year, and our average agent is 3.5 years in the business, right? So it's a very, very young, inexperienced group of agents that do this. And it's because I just came in it with the mindset of, my broker stepdad told me, you're going to recruit 10 agents, 8 will fail, and then 2 of them, you do everything you can to hold on to them. Give them better splits and incentives or whatever you can, right? That's the business model, right? You all are raised in. You guys agree with this? And I just thought that was stupid. I'm like, why can't I just recruit 10, keep 8, and I cannot help all of them succeed? But what if 2 fall out? And way better ratios, right, in terms of building a business. And so that's what we focused on doing. A new agent with potential, not experience, is going to come, and as long as they can follow a proven system. One of the things I've learned in growing the team and growing the business is, like, you know what the best type of agent is to find? Like, one that had a 9-to-5 job and showed up every day for 10 years. Like, that's the ones that come that want, like, freedom and flexibility and a lifestyle, guaranteed are going to wash out in a year, right? But the one that, like, worked at Walmart for 10 years and showed up every day for the last 10 years, like, I know they're going to crush if they get into real estate. Because if they can do the same thing and apply the same work ethic and a proven system that we know works, success is inevitable for those folks. And they bring no baggage, right? Every time I get an experienced agent and say, well, back when, I did it at the Coldwell office and all this kind of stuff, I'm like, stay at the Coldwell office if you want to do it like that. If you want to sell a lot of houses, we're going to do it a different way, and you don't have to deal with that baggage. So don't be afraid of training new agents. All right, listing agents last. Who's heard this one? This is always my favorite, and it's like I always get, like, the shoes thrown at me when I say this. I've never liked being a listing agent, you guys. Like, I've always enjoyed buyer business more than, I'll take listing business 100% of the time, but it's never been a focus. And we've built, did 900 deals last year, like 600 of them were buyer deals, right? Like, we're very buyer heavy operation because we've always focused on generating buyer business. And I've found, I don't know if anybody disagrees with this, but the best place to get listing business is past buyer business. Right? I mean, like, the best listing leads you can possibly get is a buyer you closed 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. They know, like you, trust you. It's way easier to deal with those folks, and they're going to send you their friends that live in the neighborhood and give you referrals, right? So listing business comes from buyer business. I don't know about you guys. I've looked at everything under the sun, and no one has figured out to generate seller leads at scale. Zillow hasn't figured it out. Nobody has figured it out, right? So if you're looking for that and you want to scale, buyer business is absolutely the way to do it. And if you want to build a sustainable business over time, you got to start with buyers, build up a book of buyer business. They're going to become homeowners, and they will become sellers in the future, and they'll sustain your business. So don't focus in on, like, I got to be a listing agent, right? Or you see the listing agent stand up here and say, you want to be a 100% listing agent. I never aspired to do that, and so far it's worked out. And in this slow market, high inventory market, who would love to have super highly motivated, qualified buyers right now, right? Who's got listings that have been sitting for 100 days and you can't get a showing, right? All the listing agents on our team are, like, hurting right now. They're like, man, this sucks. Like, I haven't had a showing in a week, and there's all this doom and gloom around that. And so buyer business can sustain you. Whether the market is hot or cold, buyer business is always going to be there. So think about that when you're doing your business planning and figuring out your mix of where your business comes from. All right, video is hard. I do a lot of video, love Jesse's stuff, completely would agree with everything he said. I just made a conscious decision 7 years ago for whoever wants to do more video, right? You know what's harder than doing video? Being freaking poor, right? You got to make a decision. Like, what's harder? Like, everything in life is hard. You choose your hard, right? And it's uncomfortable. It's a pain. But I put a YouTube video out every single week for the last 7 years. I do social media posts almost every single day. And it makes life a lot easier because we get inbound traffic of people who already know, like me, and trust me. And then I hand them off to an agent. I never show my house, and I never read a contract for them. And it just generates business over and over and over again. But you got to dedicate yourself to it. And absolutely, it's hard. But this is the mantra that I've been talking about lately is the only way to scale long term is you have to create clients in the marketplace that don't know you exist, right? Like, are there people in the marketplace who consider you their realtor that you have not met yet? Ask yourself this question, because I can tell you there are hundreds of people in my community, my market, that consider me their realtor. I'm just waiting for the day when they're ready to write a contract and they call me to do that, right? And so if you're not doing this, somebody like me is, and your aunt, your best friend from high school, they're gonna call the guy that they see on Instagram, they see on YouTube, and they're not gonna call you, and it's gonna break your heart. But it's because they just didn't know you were their realtor because you weren't in front of them every single day, right? So think about this, and video is the absolute easiest way to do this. You just gotta make it a part of your schedule. Dedicate an hour a week to create content. That's plenty of time to create enough content for a week. Or I do like 2 hours a month, and then it creates enough content for the entire month. I'm recording this session right now. I'm gonna put this into Opus Clip, like Leo said. It's gonna make me 15 or 20 clips that I can use for social media in the next couple of months. So you gotta do it. For a scalable, long-term business, you gotta do it. Think about it as a strategy for conversion, not lead generation. People focus too much on, I did 10 YouTube videos and I didn't get any leads. This is the mindset shift, right? When someone comes in contact with you, whether your friend refers you, or it's an online lead, or they walk into an open house, whatever it is, what do they find when they go online and look you up? Does it confirm that you're an expert real estate advisor in their marketplace? Or do they have to like really dig and they find some like crappy old Realtor.com profile, right? If they find a bunch of video content about you online, it confirms you are who you say you are, and then the conversion becomes easy. So the leads may not come directly from the video, but the leads will be converted because of the video. And that's a mindset shift you gotta have, is don't worry about the views and the subscribers and all that kind of stuff. This is it's your online resume that's gonna convert leads for you. So think about that. If you shift your mindset in that way, it's gonna make doing the action consistently a lot easier. Again, proves who you say you are, right? I always tell folks, like, if you look up if I tell you I'm a realtor from Hawaii and I'm in Portland and you go look me up on Instagram, 100% you will believe that I'm a realtor from Hawaii and I'm not just some random dude, right, trying to get your contact information. So it proves who you say you are. All right, and then there's no excuse with AI and Opus Clip. You guys heard a lot about that today. All right, creating multiple businesses. For whatever reason, people that get into real estate want to be entrepreneurs, right? They have this entrepreneurial mindset. And I don't know about you guys, but is anybody who's successful in real estate like get hit up with, hey, you want to get into solar and title and escrow? You want to buy into my mortgage company? Y'all get this? You will. As soon as you see some success in real estate, you will, right? And there's a great Chinese proverb, right? He who chases two rabbits catches none. And be disciplined about this. If you're going to focus and you're going to go all in on real estate, do it and just do that alone. Like, don't try and create multiple. There's actually like 5, 6, 7 streams of income from doing EXP well. You don't have to do it somewhere else, right? You don't have to have all these other businesses. So focus like a laser, do this at a high level. I get hit by this all the time, and I literally use the he who chases two rabbits catches none objection to guys, and they're like, man, I never heard that one before, that's good. You know, these salesmen that are trying to sell me on investing in some business. So you don't have to be a multiple business entrepreneur, and guys, if you want to do real estate at a high level, no side hustles. Right? No selling candles in the market, at the farmer's market on a weekend, or whatever other crazy stuff, driving Uber. Like, you gotta go all in, go hard, and focus like a laser. All right, real estate is a scarce business. We get told this all the time, right? It's a scarce business. There's lots of competition. There's so many people. I ran quick numbers for Portland. So there was 8,256 transactions last year in Portland. That's 16,400 sides, right? That's 16,000 opportunities for you to transact and represent a buyer or a seller in a transaction. And 70% of agents, guys, don't do a deal all year, right? That's a national average. I don't know exactly what it is for Portland, but 70% of agents don't do any deals. So in Portland, there's about 8,000 agents. 30% of those agents are 2,400 people. And out of those 2,400, there's only like 10% of those guys are doing more than like 15 transactions a year, right? So if you look at the total addressable market of 16,000 opportunities for like 200, 300 people, this is in a business with more abundance than you absolutely know what to do with. You just got to go out there and get it, right? And shift your mindset away from the scarcity mindset that there's not enough business out there and there's too much competition and too many agents. This is true of every single market. The proportions are pretty much true in every single market. So y'all got more business than you know what to do with here. Okay, online leads suck. Our whole entire business was built off of online leads. And my mantra to agents is, do the online leads suck or do you suck? Because I think you suck, because we're doing all right? So only 4% of the population transacts per year. In our state, it was 3.6% of the population. A very, very low amount of people actually participate in a real estate transaction. If you understand this, then it makes dealing with online leads a little bit easier, right? Because you can understand, like, hey, like, I always make this joke, like, who believes in like Bigfoot? You guys must in the Pacific Northwest, right? Who believes in UFOs, right? Anybody believe in UFOs? who believes in chi? You know the martial art where I can like hit you and you knock out? You know the chi, right? Anybody believe in that, right? Because if you believe in a lead source that converts it like above 10%, you got to believe in all that other crap too, because it doesn't exist. It's hocus pocus, all right? Every single lead source, if you can get a lead source that converts at 5, 6, 7%, go all in on that thing because it is a gold mine and you got to build systems around converting leads from that thing. Even if you track open house leads, does anybody track open house leads? How many open house leads actually convert? If you run that calculation, it's not more than 10%, right? So if you understand this and you can go all in on online leads, you can build a really big sustainable business because it's about building a database and a pipeline. Right? To me, every single email address and phone number I can collect is absolute gold because sometime in the next 10 years, like Russ said, that person is going to buy or sell a house. And if I'm in front of them with a valuable piece of video content every month or every week, the chance of me capturing that lead sometime in the next 10 years goes up dramatically. So just understand that online leads do not suck. If they don't buy today or tomorrow or next 3 months, it doesn't mean they suck. It just means that you got to nurture them for longer to turn them into business. We have about 75,000 leads in our database, and we did 900 deals last year. It's like a 6% conversion rate. I'm okay with that. But you know how long it took me to get 75,000 leads in the database and how many online leads did it generate? Like a ton, right? So just think about every 100 leads that you generate, you can count on 3, 4, 5 transactions, and that's a thing that you can build your business off of long term, right? So keep generating those online leads, all right? And then very, very important, I can go for an hour on this, you need to create a system to follow up and nurture leads before you generate them. That's the biggest thing, is don't just spend money generating online leads unless you have a dedicated system, a weekly video, all of that stuff, because if not, the leads actually don't ever convert and you get frustrated about it. So build your systems before you lead generate. And that's really lead generator on anything. All right, Zillow is the enemy. Who hates Zillow? I like Zillow. I love Zillow. I'm in bed with Zillow. I've been for years. And what's crazy is like we're partnered with them defending clear cooperation. The essence of our business, you guys, like the people that are supposed to destroy us for all of these years are like standing side by side, going toe to toe with the biggest forces in our industry, fighting for clear cooperation and making sure that every single buyer has access to every single listing and every listing is exposed to the maximum amount of buyers, right? This is crazy. The world is crazy. The universe is crazy. But seeing this right now, there's no other better example of Zillow not being the enemy than them partnering with us right now. Think about lead cost and frequency. You know, where else can you get high frequency leads? They may be high cost, but I have a whole presentation on this about understanding lead cost and frequency. And I would rather have a high cost, high frequency lead source than a low cost, low frequency lead source, because I'm just gonna do more business. And even though I'm paying for more, if I do 3 or 4 or 5 times more business in the low frequency lead source, you end up netting more money. It's about how much money you net at the end of the year really is what should count. So think about that. And our partnership with Zillow this year, we'll do probably 250 transactions. We did like 230 last year just from our partnership with Zillow. This is a huge benefit to our agents. Our agents make a ton of money. New agents get an opportunity to talk to buyers right off the bat after a quick training program. They get in the car, it's paid training for them. So if you want to build a long, sustainable business, this is the type of partnerships you need to have and get past the mindset of like, they're the enemy because they do something better than me. There may be some mutual benefit there, and it definitely has been for us. All right, don't spend time with unqualified buyers. This is one that makes me crazy, but I was told growing up, you know, don't get in the car with an unqualified buyer. What about building a relationship, making a friend, right? Investing in somebody and getting somebody who may buy in the next 10 years, right? So we train on this heavily, build relationship first, don't put qualification and finances as a barrier to entry to becoming a connection to you, and they can always be a referral partner, and they can always do business with you in the future once you build trust with them. All right, make 3 recommendations. I'm almost out of time here, so I'm gonna go fast. This might be the biggest one, right? We have all our friends that came up on stage just now, our industry partners. The craziest thing we do is make 3 recommendations when it comes to especially our mortgage partners, you guys. What this says to your client is that I don't trust anybody, and you will pick one, and if they screw up, then it's on you, not me. And is that a good way to have credibility with your client, right? You want to have partnerships, and our partnership is built on a very, very simple principle: no reputational damage. If I refer you a client, you will do me no reputational damage if I refer you a client. And all of our referral partners understand this. Mortgage people, title people, home inspectors, surveyors, right? It's very, very clear. Like, you're going to serve my people at a very, very high level, or I'll go find somebody else because we got a lot of business to take someplace else. And so instead of recommending 3, recommend 1 and build a partnership with them that is based on conversion and they understand exactly what your expectations are. Because if you want to scale and grow over time, you got to have partners you can rely on and not just 3 randoms that you send people to, right? So no 3 recommendations. Don't share with your competition. Again, this over here, collaborating, right? To me, if you put good energy out into the universe, you get it back 10 times back. And so that whole thing is crazy, but I think if you're at EXP, you understand that. Okay, and then 30 transactions is the pinnacle of real estate success. This is what I thought was the case early in my career. And then I came to EXP, I saw outside the box. I learned from others that did it. And I saw if they could do it, I could do it. I came to an event like this like 6 years ago, and I saw dudes selling like 300, 400, 500 houses, and I'm like, damn, they're not that smart. I could do that. And then I went home and did it, you know? So and this is what's possible if you don't follow the rules, guys, in 6 years, all right? So I was a Coldwell Banker for 3 years before I came to EXP. I was a moderate real estate agent, did like 8, 9, 10 million a year. You can see at the bottom of the graph there. In 2019, we came to EXP. We did 40 million the first year. 6 years later, we do 420 million in volume, you guys. 10x growth at EXP. And this is what's possible when you just, 1, go to a company that doesn't follow the rules, and 2, break out of some of the rules that are currently around our business, guys. So your opportunity is huge here. Just understand that this is a place you can build a business as big as you want to build it. Just get around the right people. I'm here to help you if I can do absolutely anything. And I'll leave you with this. One of the beautiful things about the Hawaiian language is there are literal translations and then there are poetic translations. And so everybody say this with me. Kina ole. Kina ole. All right. So kina means flaw and ole means none or without. So it basically means flawless if you literally translate it. And this is the guiding principle of our team and how we do business. And the poetic translation is doing the right thing in the right way at the right time, in the right place, for the right individual, for the right reason, with the right feeling the first time you do it. Right? I think if we all injected a little bit more kina ole into our life, we'd have a better business, better relationships. Everything we did, the world would be a better place, right? So think about this. I'm the kina ole guy when you're wondering where to find me. If you want to get the slides, you guys, follow me. I'm at Kona Broker on Instagram. DM me the word rules, and the slides will get shot back to you. It's ManyChat. Write that down if you want an automation for social media. You can DM a word, and it'll send back. You can set up an automation to send something back, a message back to folks. If you DM me the word meeting or coach, you'll get a calendar link so you can book a meeting with me. So follow me on Instagram, and then that's my contact information. If you need anything, if I can help, please reach out. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate you guys. Aloha.